Welcome to another video. Today's going to be a part 2 series of my previous video on this propane furnace. Now, if you've been RVing for long enough, or if you're researching RVs, you will know that most of them come with this propane furnace. If you're a lucky one, you may be upgraded to a better model with the hydronic heating or other sources of combination furnace and water heater, but for the most part, most of these RVs are going to have this propane furnace. Mine is located underneath the refrigerator behind those grates. We're going to do a test here. So you can see I have a decibel meter reading. And this is before the propane furnace is on. And if you've seen my previous video, this is like one of the worst furnaces I've had. It's really difficult to sleep when this propane furnace kicks on. If you're sleeping and this thing kicks on, you'll likely wake up. So let's go ahead and do a test here. And we're going to turn that propane furnace on. So you'll see how loud it is. And you can see the decibel meter reading here. And this is pretty loud. I'll show you how to quiet this down. Now this return air grill here, you can't just block it off. The sound is coming physically from the propane furnace that's hidden behind there. We're going to use these acoustical sound panels, and let me show you what this is. I'll just put it right here. So you can see right away how much quieter that decibel meter reading just got with blocking that off. Well, we're going to go ahead and make some modifications inside the furnace itself, and I'll show you what I do and what the end results are. Alright, before I get too far along, let me show you what I did already. So this is behind my grill, and you can see my propane furnace is right here. You see those grills up on top, those louvers? That's the return air. That's where the intake air has to come in order for it to blow out. So I did have a chance to put some sound panels up on the ceiling here. This hopefully just stops some of that bouncing around of the sound, and hopefully it absorbs the sound a little bit. The other thing is my install is a little bit more difficult than the average because I also installed this extra vent right here. So I have to separate the supply from the return side. So I'm putting some sound paneling here. If you didn't have this situation, all you would have to do is put some sound paneling behind here, but also give a method for the air to get back into the propane furnace. So I'll show you that here in a minute. Okay, here is the finished project. Let me show you before I put this grate back on. But as you can see, I do have a little diffuser cover here. This inside, I can change the louver position. So right now, I have the air blowing out this way. I have the sound panel doubled up here. And then right in the center, I have this piece right here. This is flush with the wood. So when that grill cover comes back on, the air cannot go behind here and into this section. And this is the return air, so the air can go in and make this turn to get back to that furnace. And same thing, it can go up top as well as to the right. It just cannot go directly back in. So hopefully the sound will be muffled or absorbed as it turns around this corner. There's probably a better technical term for that, but that is just preventing that direct sound from coming back and forth and still getting that return air. I could have probably put a new return air over here, so it's at least 18 inches away. That would be about a couple of feet away, but I didn't want to drill another new hole here, and just making do with what we have here. I think this will work perfectly fine. Again, ideally this should be about at least 18 inches away from the return. But I think with the velocity coming out this way, I don't think that supply air is going to get sucked right back in. Besides, underneath this furnace, or underneath where the furnace is, there's a bunch of air leaks from the original manufacturer. So Return air can come in from many other sources besides just directly in front of here. But I'll put this grill back together and I'll show you some sound tests. Alright, we got everything wrapped up. I got the grill put back on. The sound panels are installed. I'm going to do a decibel meter reading again. You can see when it's quiet, it still likes to fluctuate a little bit. So let's go ahead and turn on this furnace. So we'll turn on the furnace. You can hear the furnace kick back on. And let me wait until the actual gas ignites. Alright, I heard the gas ignite now, so let's go ahead and look at this decibel meter reading. It's going to be upside down. Looks like it's a few decibels quieter. I'll bring this camera up closer. I don't know how well that mic will pick that up, but just talking in the background, seems like it's much quieter. So, coming back from the back bedroom, now I can hear the furnace running, but in a much quieter manner. So I think it'll be much easier to sleep. But the moral of the story is, if you have a loud furnace, you don't have to live with it. There are some improvements that you can make on it. I wish the manufacturers would do it from the beginning, but that return air, you basically want to isolate that furnace area so the noise doesn't travel out to your living area, and that's really it. Like I mentioned in my previous video, I wish the manufacturers could get these heating systems all worked out so it works nicely, but it's really going to be hard to test these when you're doing the walkthrough phase. So if you're having a problem at the beginning, it may be something worthwhile bringing in for warranty right away. I don't know how well they will do on that warranty repair, but you don't have to live with it. So here we are. I wish I would have done a test sitting right here prior to the modification, but again, much quieter than when we started with.